Hey guys, it's the Morikawa School of Card Fight Vanguard. Today we're talking about grade 2s.
Yep, a lot of them there are.
Alright, we're going to be discussing about different types of grade 2s, where they fit in decks and whatnot. Mostly your grade 2s you want to be as a rear guard only because they're not going to be staying in the Vanguard circle for quite long. Hopefully only one turn. We'll start off with, I guess this part where it's 9k solid body, has a good on-hit scale, and it still works well as a rear guard.
So you see we have
Perla.
different kinds here.
Yeah. Perla needs a certain combination in order to work well, but even her on her own is still threatening. Vivian, again, works well as a Vanguard or rear guard, just needs to be boosted, kind of like Perla. And as you recruit more stuff, Red Eye, consistency with Tsukuyomi or any heavy soul build, can hit anything to get that skill off. White Mane, the damage on Flipper always has attack of Vanguard, 9k solid body again.
And then Libra and
Libra clones, where you just hit something that you don't like and you hopefully get a card out of it.
These types of grade 2s are pretty solid picks for any deck because they generate pressure, make your opponent drop cards even if they don't really want to. And if they go off, well, profit for you.
Alright.
And then we have grade 2s that exceed their power limit. If they were met with a special condition, they gain additional power, mostly between intervals of 2 and 3,000.
Except for this one. This one's stupid and has no condition whatsoever. Ruin Shade too good.
Yeah. They can vary in power between 9 and 8.
Various things.
8,000.
Some of them have like no soul. They get a power boost if they're all rested.
When your
Power
opponent attacks. Again, hand size.
Be winning.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're winning, win harder.
When you have your grade 3,
Of choice.
This one's actually slightly... You have to work a little bit for that.
Yeah, you have
6
to-
soul.
6 soul. Works easier for them than certain other decks, but
Those are pretty good too, because all decks need power or they're not going to go anywhere. And especially nowadays when you need all the ways to hit 18 that you can get, these make the job easy for you.
yeah, speaking of things that hit 18 easily, grade 2s that have exceeded the power limit, but they have more of a sacrificial cost in order to maintain them. This guy is just, once you play it, you got to retire rear guard, any rear guard, splashable in a lot of decks.
Pro tip, just don't play any other rear guards until you've played him first.
Or ride him with no rear guards.
Yep.
Brutal Jack as well, just needs a counter blast, so if you can keep on maintaining that counter blast cost, you can play him. Preferably these guys would be in low numbers, and they're also hybridable depending on what decks you use. I mean, this could work well in Grand Blue, this guy can work well in Angel Feather.
These are the sort of things that you want to ride more than play in the rear because their skill is that you don't die.
Yeah, being 11k means that it's going to be hard for them to hit you.
And if you're only at like 1 or 2 damage going into turn 3, you're in a really good position for the rest of the game.
And then we're going to talk about a few other ones. Normally recruiters that aren't really in most decks.
they're generally in decks like Gold Paladin and Royal Paladin. Speaking of which, there's he's technically a recruiter.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
These two are recruiters that specifically look for certain things for your back row. This is the kind that really it's a wild shot. You'll get something when he's placed under the rear guard from the deck, and you'll just have to roll with it. But they're Gold Paladin, so they're going to go with it anyway.
No complaints about these. If your deck has them, you play them because being able to fish for the cards you need is always good.
Yeah.
And most decks don't get that luxury, as you can see by our lineup of them.
Only Paladins.
Yeah.
Bishop Paladins are the only ones who get to do it.
Yep. Then we have the grade 2s of Burning Righteousness. Blaster Blade and Berserk Dragon, they just literally burn things that oppose you. Blaster
Size.
Blade, bit more situational. And then the other kind of burning is where you burn your own units for power. But it's in a deck.
Eat their hand.
Yeah, but it's in a deck where you can plus up that as well.
Always fun.
It's not often that you get a 9K that's really good wherever you put it.
So if you have that option, you should go for it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, they're really good.
And then you have the grade 2s that you don't want to ride. and
Ever?
Yeah.
They're strictly rear guards.
There we go.
Whatever they fit with themes, bring back from the drop zone after intercepts or whatnot. Giving power to your Vanguard for their skills. This one, because if it was as the Vanguard, that'd be crazy. Again, other power bonuses.
A special intercept.
Yeah, as you can tell by all these things, they have strictly rearguard effects or effects that only really work if they aren't the Vanguard.
Normally, packing too many of this sort of cards would be a problem, at least if you were grade 3. But since they're grade 2s, you can afford to play a few more of them than normal.
Because in the end of the day,
Even if you ride one, you're not going to be suffering for it for very long.
yeah, if you're lucky, you'll be suffering for a turn, and then you're going to go up to grade 3. So your grade 2s are going to be taking over rearguard duty.
Yeah, normally they're used as your sword and then your shield, so they get intercepted off to call something better or another copy to do the same shenanigans again.
And depending on the skill, you definitely want to be packing as many of these as you possibly can. Like this.
That means
You've got
feathers.
lots of utility.
one.
These and D police because they
the
make
entire
them
deck
work.
revolves around that.
For these guys in Grand
You
Blue.
can afford to play less of
Yeah.
those. 'Cause
You can also ride these
You only
guys.
need one.
You can also ride these guys because you can soul blast them.
Four
and
of
stuff.
these
Yeah, always.
because grade 3s and stand triggers mean they're always going to be attacking.
Meanwhile, you get over here, and then you're.
These ones are less important.
Your special intercepts typically aren't gonna slot into decks very well unless you've got recruiting power, as do paladins and Grand Blue.
Yeah, most of the time though, you're just going to be relying on perfect guards, which for next time.
And your surprise power buffs are like, where is this gonna be relevant? Except for like D police, as we mentioned,
Which
and,
actually need them.
Duke against Crossrides.
And then you have your grade 2 ride chain.
Yep.
Most of the time, grade 2 Vanguard only cards are not that good, but ride chains tend to make an exception. Because you sort of need them,
Need them
to
in there,
stay
too.
on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the time they're a solid 9k body.
Then you get crap like Platinum Ace. It's like, why would
Which-
you even?
Yeah. Which actually brings us to the next column.
These standalone cards, they're optional in whatever decks you want to use.
They're pretty unique.
They're unique.
Not always good.
Yeah. In most cases, you don't necessarily need to run them to make your deck work. More often than not, that's because you would never use them.
These things are more so tech card.
Yeah. Fit with their, well, with these guys, they fit with their theme. Dr. Egg was like Soul Charge, Pamoon's like Cut from Soul, Tachikaze, retire units to gain other things.
And this one's being a ninja.
Yeah.
This one, on the other hand,
10Ks, they go basically everywhere.
yeah, you can throw them in if you want it.
Can't complain.
You
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, I mean, if worst case scenario, they're
They're a big rear guard.
Yeah. In some,
There are a fair few decks that won't use them just because they want to pack all their, awesome 9K shenanigans and beaters like these.
Well, you're typically pretty well off playing at least 2, just so you have a fair shot at riding it and not dying.
Even if you don't want to pack a full set.
whenever you have extra room and you need some grade 2s, always a good option.
I guess it's time to talk about the last kind.
The, oh my
Bastards.
goodness, play 4 of when you
Play 4
can.
if you can, because they're pretty good.
Except for maybe him.
So maybe him, depending on the situation, but you still might use 2 at least.
Bracky is so dumb because he's so splashable. Even to this day.
Yeah.
You can throw him into any deck.
Tejas
and he can
sometimes,
work.
but
Tejas, you could
Got
do with
access
him,
soul, boom.
If you look back in, he's 14 and then runs
No
back into the
in-plan
deck.
alternative. Go for it.
I want to say Silent Tom was the reason why cross rides are made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably. They didn't work. So
Although the passage of time is seeming to work on him
slightly.
because as more decks get made in Oracle Think Tank, there's less room for him to
Yeah.
exist in them.
Yeah,
Especially-
making it difficult.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to use cards that have more power.
Especially in remember this thing and this
Man,
thing.
you need to
are
load
being more
yourself
useful.
up on Moon and Beatstick and support
Yeah.
card. Where am I putting
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
If you try to get a surplus of 8K grade 2 bodies, you're probably going to be in a very risky situation.
So in more often cases than not, you'll probably find yourself not using him like you used to. But in older kind of decks, like standard CEO or what have you, you can throw him in. I'm just fine.
The reason why you want to have solid 9K grade 2s is just so that you don't get rushed by their 8K vanillas.
Yeah, because at 8K, even grade ones can hit these
Mind
guys.
you, 18K columns can happen on turn 2 as well.
Oh,
And
yeah.
getting
Yeah.
hammered by those is not pretty.
Yeah, because you won't want to stop them because you'll have to do so much to do it. And it's just not
4
worth
damage
it.
going into turn 3. No good.
No.
Well, that's range of
So, yeah, the time of the AKs is getting more and more limited, unless they have a power boost like
Yeah.
Mocha or Blaze.
Yeah, even with
Tejas is hilarious. He's like the most fun thing Kagura has, other than Berserk Dragon.
you can also bring it back with Negromar.
Him, on the other hand, is a bit special case. While you probably wouldn't run him at 4 or anything like that, you probably want to throw him in anyway because he has a special ability that no other card in the game has.
If you hate Doreen the Thruster that much,
'Cause
destroy it with a
he
burning
can attack
passion.
the back row.
Yep.
He's. Yeah.
He
Tejas
does-
is Tejas.
Tejas. That's really what this column's about. They're one of a kinds that are truly one of a kind. It's really nothing else that does their job.
As much as they like to try. And we don't have them here, but there are some other grade 2s.
Honorable
Oh, like the
mentions.
sort
like-
that you should avoid at all costs.
Eisenkugel!
Oh god.
Oh yeah,
You
those
have to have a,
guys.
yeah,
The specific Vanguard, or they lose 5k sort, in exchange for being a 12k attacker.
yeah, again, it's another card where of the ride or dies scenario.
Yeah.
I guess we do not because we don't like them so much.
So bad, guys.
Yeah, we don't have them on here, but yeah, basically put their 10K, they were 10Ks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they lose power if their
If you don't have
proper
your-
Vanguard is not in the on the Vanguard circle.
Yeah, and then they got replaced with these kind of cards.
Yeah, and then these guys came out.
Yeah, that's what the future sets are going to be packing most of the
Yeah.
time. The
Let's
plus
not
3.
forget, there are those 7k grade 2s that draw a card if they attack
Yeah.
and you've got a full field, basically.
Yeah, Marvelous.
They
Honey,
try
Astragalus.
to reimburse your overextension. They usually don't.
Except for Marvel's Honey sometimes.
Sometimes.
But yeah, their obvious problem is that they're 7K power.
To hit anything, they basically require your 8k booster, especially since they have to hit the Vanguard, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, It's like you're going first, or that's not gonna happen.
That pretty much wraps up any of the all the grade 2s. I mean-
The man.
Oh, right. That's another special one we just don't happen to have.
Yeah.
That's a really
I mean,
unique one.
It's really good,
but
but there's an inherent
there's
risk.
a risk to
bunch
using
of
it,
them.
and it has 3K attack.
Do you like getting your ass whooped by a battle
If
razor?
you if you use it, they will attack you. If you use it as your Vanguard, they will attack you with everything,
Can't
and
believe
you
Very
will
heinous for the
and you will have to
consequences.
take it
I
because
believe he survived after that, but then again, he didn't really
It's
survive.
in the realm of these where they're really good for their. It's really good for its deck.
But that's the
But
call.
but you never want more than like a couple because if you're forced to ride that,
And if
Game
you're going
over.
second,
Game over.
game
man.
over. It's oh my god! If Pat was using Shadow Paladins and he had the main out there when the
The Death Army columns were being used.
Oh.
Dead instantaneously.
Jesus. So yeah, overall consensus is that for the most part, you want to be packing good rear guards.
Yep. You want them to be powerful as rear guards, but you don't want them to necessarily not be decent enough on the Vanguard. Otherwise, they'll probably die.
Yeah, mostly solid 9Ks. Grade 2s that get additional power.
If you really need something like a 10K, just because you can block, or if you're running a chain, obviously the chain.
And then, if despite having 8,000 power, cards that fit your theme and you really want to use. So you don't be vanilla.
I think that pretty much takes care of grade 2s. Any last words, anybody?
The pinnacle of card fighting is these. More often than not,
Yeah, most often, if it's not the Vanguard, these guys will most likely be the final attacker.
Rear guard grade 2s are what run the game
Yeah.
in the end.
Yes, offensively and defensively because, intercept and whatnot.
If they intercept, they're powerful, they have cool skills,
they do what they want.
they do everything really. Alright, well, I don't think we have a real segment name for this, so
Nope.
Yes.
this was going to say how to Vangood.
It's just
Grade
Rant of the
2s.
Vanguard, also known as RUTV, and the answer is no. This is the internet. Hi, reality.
Right. I'm going to call it how to Vangood anyway, because I think we called the grade 3 one that.
We should call this Morikawa School of Vanguard.
Yeah, Morikawa School of Vanguard, let's do it.
All right,
Because there's only 2 more of these anyway. Bye.